Hello, my name is Leon. Welcome to the reading of the Elder Scrolls. Today we're going to be reading The Black Arrow Part 1 by Georgie Ginn. Also, I'm quite drunk, so this is going to be drunk Elder Scrolls reading. Those are my favorite. Okay. I was young when the Duchess of Wada hired me as an assistant, footman, at her summer palace. My experience in the ways of the titled you can do it. You can do it, come on. The titled aristocrat, no, Jesus Christ. Wait, aristocracy? Is that how you say that word? Aristocracy. Good enough. Whatever. Was very limited before that day. There were wealthy merchants, traders, diplomats, and officials who had large operations in Eldenroot and ostentatious palaces for entertaining. But my relatives were all far from those social circles. Social circles? That's why I said shut up. Don't worry about my slurring of speech. There was no family business for me to enter when I reached adulthood, but my cousin heard that an estate far from the city required servants. It was so remotely located that there were unlikely to be many applicants for the positions. I walked for 5 days into the jungles of Valenwood before I met a group of riders going in my direction. Please hold. I'll turn my heater off because it's... We'll turn it down because it's really hot right now. Probably because I'm drunk. Anyway, where was I? They were 3 Bosmer men. 1 Bosmer woman, 2 Breton women. Wait, what? Oh, okay, right, sorry. 3 Bosmer men, 1 Bosmer woman, 2 Breton women, and a Dunmer man. Adventurers from the look of them. Are you going to Malava? Asked Prolissa, one of the Breton women, after we had made our introductions. I don't know what that is, I replied. I'm seeking a domestic position with the Duchess of Wada. We'll take you to our gate, said the Dunmer, Mr. Akin, pulling me up to his horse. But you would be wise not to tell her Grace that students from Malava escorted you, unless you don't really want the position in her service. I'm with Malava, I guess? I don't think I'm going to make it through this book. I may have drank just a little bit too many rum and cokes before starting this recording. Oh well. Akin explained himself as we rode on. Malava was the closest village to the Duchess's estate, where a great and renowned archer had retired after a long life of military service. His name was Hiamast. Though he was retired, he had begun to accept students who wished to learn the art of the bow. In time, when word spread of the great teacher, more and more students arrived to learn from the master. The Breton women had come down all the way from the western reach of High Rock. Akin himself had journeyed across the continent from his home near the great volcano in Morrowind. Red Mountain? Sure. He showed me the many arrows he had brought from his homeland, and I never had seen anything so black. Oh right, the book's called Black Arrow, isn't it? Yes, it is. From what we've heard, said Capel, one of the Bosmer men, the Duchess is an Imperial whose family has been even before the Emperor was born. So you might think she was accustomed to the common people of Battlewood. Nothing could be further from the truth. She despises the village and the school most of all. Jesus Christ, okay. That's a voice and a half. I suppose she was looking for the traffic in a jungle. Laughed Professor. I accepted the information with gratitude and found myself dreading more and more. Like that voice could only be acceptable if you could actually read for yourself. That's true. I accepted the information with gratitude and found myself dreading more and more my first meeting with the intolerant Duchess. My first sight of the palace through the trees did nothing to assuage? I don't know how to say that word. Assuage my fears. I should really drink some water. Yeah. Been drinking nothing but rum and coke for the last... When did I start? An hour and a half? No, 2 hours. It's basically been 2 hours at this point. It's true. Anyway. It was nothing like any building I had ever seen in Valenwood. A vast edifice of stone and iron, with a jagged row of battlements, like the jaws of a great beast. More of the trees near the palace had been hewn away long ago. I could only imagine the scandal that must have... Wait, the scandal? That must have caused, and what fear the Baltimore peasants must have had of the Duchessy of Water to have allowed it. In their stead was a wide grey-green moat circling in a ring around the palace, so it seemed to be on a perfect, if artificial, island. I had seen such sights in tapestries from High Rock and the Imperial Province, but never in my homeland. There'll be a guard at the gate, so we'll leave you here, said Akin, stopping his horse on the road. It's really loud, that music, I swear to God. I can hear it on the headphones, and the headphones aren't even in right now. They're all the way over there on my desk. It's crazy. Even though I think for you it's not actually that loud. I hope not anyway. Well, finished my rum and coke. Contemplating whether or not I want to pour myself another one. We'll see how we go. I think this is a 2-part book. I don't think I'm going to get to part 2 today. See how we go. Jesus. Anyway. Sorry. The guard at the gate, so we'll leave me here so I can stop his horse on the road. It'd be best for you if you weren't damned by association with us. Who are these people again? Who are they? They're Maleva people? I think. Not entirely sure. Anyway. I thanked my companions and wished them good luck in their schooling. They rode on and I followed on foot. In a few minutes' time, I was at the front gate, which I noticed was linked to... which I noticed was linked to tall and ornate railings to keep the compound secure. When the gatekeeper understood that excuse me. Very unprofessional, sorry. That I was there to inquire about a domestic position, he allowed me past and signalled to another guard across the open lawn to extend the drawbridge and allow me to cross the bridge. The moat. Same difference. There was one last security measure, the front door. An iron monstrosity with the water coat of arms across the top. reinforced by more strips of iron and a single golden keyhole. The man standing guard unlocked the door, and gave me passage into the huge, gloomy grey stone house. Her Grace greeted me in her drawing room. She was thin and wrinkled, like a reptile, cloaked in a simple red gown. It was obviously that she never... What? What? It was obviously that she never smiled. What? Okay, this is really annoying because I know that there's a lot of grammatical mistakes in these books, and I'm too drunk to understand if it's me being unable to read it or if it's a grammatical mistake. Leave a comment if it's a grammatical mistake. I'm pretty sure it's a grammatical mistake because that doesn't make sense. Because it was obviously that she never smiled. It was obviously that she never smiled. The fuck does that mean? Anyway, our interview consisted of a single question. Do you know anything about a junior footman in the employment of an imperial noblewoman? Her voice was like ancient leather. No, Your Grace. Good! No servant ever understands what needs to be done, and I particularly dislike those who do think they do. You're engaged. Life at the palace was joyous, but the position of junior footman was very undemanding? Undemanding, yeah. As in, not demanding? Well, I mean, generally means... I'm buying myself another drink right now, by the way. Just so you know. Oh, I put it all in. Well, there wasn't much left. Alright. We got that last little bit of rum out of the bottle. It's very important. Okay, well that's not a regular... I say a regular rum and coke. What I actually mean is like a rum and coke. Because my regular, quote-unquote, rum and cokes are probably way too much rum. That's fine. Yeah, let's try it. Let me... Yep, that's good. That's fine. I feel like I can't actually taste the rum anymore. That's fair too. Where was I? Sorry. We're right here. I'm going to start from the beginning because... yeah. Does that make noise every time I do it? Where's the headphones? Okay, I gotta check. No, it doesn't make a noise until you actually click it. Fair enough. Yeah, my headphones are wrapped around my foot! Jeez, you're doing this really bad. Yeah. I feel like I should title this Leo Drunkenly Reads. Yeah, man, this isn't the first time I've drunkenly read something, but I think it's appropriate at this point. Sorry, back to it. Sorry. Where was I? Life at the palace was joyless, but the position of junior footman was very undemanding. I had nothing to do on most days except to stay out of the Duchess's sight. At such times, I usually walked 2 miles down the road to Moliva. In some ways, there was nothing special or unusual about the village. There are thousands of identical places in Valorwood, but on the hillside nearby was Master Hiomaste's archery academy, and I would often take my luncheon and watch the practice. Why not? Why the fuck not? Prolissa and Akin would sometimes meet me afterwards. With Akin, the subjects of conversation very seldom strayed from that of archery. Stop burping, you disgusting man. So I'm trying to put my fucking slipper on. I can't get my slipper on. Hold on, calm down. Hang on. Jesus Christ, what the fuck are you doing? It's fine. Yeah, my slippers are on now. Jesus. Alright. Let me scratch my eye for a little bit. Yeah. You can tell I'm drunk because I, yeah. Alright. Yeah, what was that? I gotta get back to the previous page. With that kind of the subjects of the conversation very seldom strayed from that of our tree. Though I was very fond of him, I found Prodissa a more enchanting companion, not only because she was pretty for Breton. Wow! Jesus. Wait, what's the perspective of this guy? I think he's Breton. I think he's, Dunmer? Maybe? It's gotta be an elf, right? If you're, like, saying such a racist thing about a Breton. I don't think a Nord would say such a racist thing about a Breton. Anyway. Not only because she was pretty for a Breton, but also because she seemed to have interests outside the realm of marksmanship. Who's talking? Okay, it's her. What's her voice again? It doesn't matter. There's a circus in High Rock I saw when I was a little girl called the Quill Circus, she said, during one of our walks through the woods. They've been around for as long as I can remember. You have to see them if you ever can. They have plays and sideshows and the most amazing acrobats and archers you've ever seen. That's my dream, to join them someday, when I'm good enough. How will you know when you're good enough? An archer? Wait. How will you know when you're a good enough archer? I asked. She didn't answer. And when I turned, I realized that she had disappeared. I looked around, bewildered, until I heard laughter from the trees above. She was perched on a branch, grinning. I may not join as an archer. Maybe I'll join as an acrobat, she said. Or maybe as both. I figured that Valorwood would be a place to go and see what I could learn. You've got all those great teachers to imitate? In the trees here, those 8 men. 8 men? You mean humans? Yes, sure. She coiled up, bracing her left leg before springing forward on her right. In a second she had leapt across a neighbouring branch. I found it difficult to keep talking to her. Is she a monkey? Is that what we're talking about here? The Imga, you mean? I stammered. Aren't you nervous at the height? It's a cliche, I know, she said, jumping to an even higher branch, but the secret is not to ever look down. Would you mind coming down? I probably should anyhow, she said. She was a good 30 feet up now, balancing herself up. Oh my god. You can do this. I can barely see the screen right now, but I can read. Balancing herself, arms outstretched on a very narrow branch. She gestured towards the gate, just barely visible on the other side of the road. This tree is actually as close as I want to get to your Duchess's palace. I held back a gasp as she dove off the branch, somersaulting until she landed on the ground, knees slightly bent. That was the trick, she explained, anticipating the blow before it happened. I expressed to her my confidence that she would be a great attraction at the Quill Circus. Of course, I know now. Of course, I know now that was never to be. On that day, as I recall, I had to return early. It was one of the rare occasions when I had to work in a sort of... Wait, sorry. When I had to work a sort of to-do. What does that mean? Wait. I had to return early. It was one of the rare occasions when I had to work a sort of to-do. Okay. Sure. Whenever the Duchess had guests, I was to be at the palace. That was not to say that I had any particular duties, except to be seen standing at attention at the dining room. The stewards and maids worked hard to bring in the food and clear the plates afterwards, but the footmen were purely decorative, a formality. But at least there was an audience to the drama to come. Ooh. For the drama to come. Sure, whatever. Well, that was The Black Arrow Part 1 by Georgie Gundy. I don't think I'll be reading book 2 in my current state. But for now, my name is Leo, and I'll see you next time. This has been another reading of The Elder Scrolls. Goodbye. I read that out of order, so now I don't know how to finish this. I'll do it again. This has been another reading of The Elder Scrolls, but for now, my name is Leo, and I'll see you next time.